Good morning, good morning. Welcome back to all. I am back in Toronto. Last session was in Vancouver. I'm back to the east coast of Canada. Welcome back to the live session. My name is Vishal Manocha, owner and director at Net Worth Immigration Solutions. It is 11 a.m. right now in Ontario, in Canada, right now, and 8:30 p.m. back home. So, welcome and thanks for joining in again. It is going to be another interactive, informative session regarding immigration, and stay tuned for the updates we have for this week. There are a lot of updates happening around immigration industry and you should keep yourself updated if you're somebody who's looking and planning to move to Canada on a permanent residency base, on a work permit or study permit or any category you want to. You can contact us. Our office is based in Brampton, Ontario. We have another location in Alberta, Calgary, and we have office location back home in India too, in Karnal and Kushetra, which are both in Haryana. So you can take help of our services regarding college admissions, regarding express entry, PR, spousal PR application, or any category you think of. We do represent clients in all those streams, and we have been successfully doing that from last almost 19 years now, and in Canada we are present since last 6 years. So thank you and welcome for joining. So let us start off with the updates, and meanwhile I'm providing you the updates. It will also give you a time to post your question into the comment section. Post your question into the comment section. Any question you have, I would definitely like to answer them for you right away live. And if I'm not able to answer it, or you need further information, definitely you can contact back to us for through webfam. Sorry, not through webfam, webfam for IRCC. You can contact us through email, through contacts, our lines, and definitely we will be somebody from us will be happy to answer your question. So starting from the update, there were a lot of PNP draw held from Ontario. In fact, 4 draws in the last 1 week. So we will be discussing all those 4 draws. It is very important for you to understand why Ontario is conducting those draws, who are the people who are invited under those draws, and how and what can make you qualify to be eligible under that draw. But as I said, you stay tuned for that update. But before that, we have to discuss about an express entry draw which was held this week. It was a provincial nominee program draw, and the number of invitations were 589, and the CRS score was 691. Now, don't be scared about 691. Don't get confused with the federal skilled worker draw. Federal skilled worker last draw was 483, but the skill whenever we have a PNP draws, they are usually higher than this one. I think this is one of the lowest PNP draw I have seen, I think, in 2023. 691 means the client, the minimum he had around 91 score in under CRS, and then he got 600 points that get him to 691, and that's how they were invited. But now you might still be confused how these things work. So basically, under express entry, there are 3 streams, major streams through which economic stream, I'll say, through which express entry draws are held: skilled trade class, foreign skilled worker class, and PNP draws. So this was only PNP draws. So now PNP is for those people who have been invited through one or the other province, and basically to apply for a PNP. Once the provincial nominee program has been approved, they get an extra 600 point. Now that 600 points get added to your express entry score, and that's how you get those scores. So if you say the score is 691, so what does that mean? Is the minimum score for this draw, the client who was invited only had maybe 91 points, and he got 600 on top of it, so that made him 691. So you can see 691 is, I think, the lowest PNP draw I have seen in 2023, and maybe in 2022. I haven't checked that one, but definitely seems to be the lowest one for 2023. But if you are a federal skilled worker, there was no draw held this week. If you are a CEC client, candidate experience client, they are still very disappointed. Even as a consultant, we are disappointed that why IRCC is not conducting its CEC draw. Candidate experience class draw makes those people eligible who have completed their 1 year experience in Canada. That doesn't mean that you need to have an education in Canada. That is not required as far as you have got now OAB experience in Canada, either it's an open work permit, closed work permit, post-graduate work permit, or any category of work permit you are in, that makes you eligible for Canadian experience class draw. In your case, yes, definitely Since 2000, since the draw has resumed, there has been no Canadian experience class draw, which is very, very disappointing. And on top of that, too, IRCC promised from starting from April, they will have specific draws also targeting specific occupation. But we are in the middle of May, and as of now, there is again no specific draw being also held through express entry. So again, as I said, which is very disappointing. There should have been a draw by now. There are thousands and thousands of international students who have been waiting for Canadian experience class. There are thousands and thousands of foreign workers who are here on a work permit are waiting for the draw. But unfortunately, we have not seen any draw since 2023 January, and we are in May, and that is definitely concerning. And for those clients who are not getting invite, definitely they need to be in contact with a professional to guide them through here for how they can get their permanent residency. Maybe they have to move to other provinces to get their permanent residency approved, but that all will depend on basically that all will depend on how you plan to move from here. But you have to start planning now. If you are especially into your second year or third year of work permit, you will not have, you will already don't have too much time left for your permanent residency application. Even if you have to move and if you don't have an experience, you might have to take 1 year experience before you get qualify under any of the other provincial nominee program stream. So as I said, if you are somebody with a Canadian Express class and not getting an invite, can contact us immediately in our office and we can help you and let you know that how you can maybe increase your CRS score and qualify under federal skilled worker. And if that is not possible, you may even qualify for one or the other provincial nominee program, and you may have to even move to other provinces to get your permanent residency done. And because there are a lot of small, even in fact, there are a lot of small communities in Ontario, or like we call it an RINP stream, even maybe that could be an option for you. But we'll request you to kindly visit us, find more information about it, and we will be very, very happy to share that with you. And meanwhile, as I said to you in the beginning, we are discussing about this updates. I request you, if you have any question, kindly post it into the comment section, and I'll be happy to take those questions for you, and we can answer them right away, right now. So that's how. That's what I want you to do. As I said, this session is just not about me updating you. This session is also about you have any question, kindly post it into the comment section, and I'll be very happy to talk about it, discuss about it in detail. If you have any question, you can go ahead and post it into the comment section. Let us continue with the further update we have regarding OINP draws. There were in the last 1 week, there were 4 OINP draws. OINP is again Ontario Immigration Nominee Program. As we just earlier discussed in our express entry, there are a lot of PNP draws which are linked through express entry, and there are few draws which are not linked through express entry. So a couple of draws which I'm going to discuss. I think most of them, two of them were not linked to express entry. Two others were linked to express entry profile. So let me discuss first about the OINP foreign worker stream draw, where people with 43 score, only 43 score were invited. Now, who were these people and why? Where did this 43 came from? So basically, if you want to be eligible under the stream, you need to create your profile under OINP stream, Ontario Immigration Nominee stream, and submit your expression of interest. So now these people who have got an invite definitely created their profile on the foreign worker stream on the portal. Now IRCC randomly have, so not IRCC, sorry, ONP have randomly have their draws throughout the year, sometime in the beginning of the year, sometime in the middle, and sometime in the last part of the year. So federal worker draw will invite the 43 scored. So there's a point grade system under which you are getting your points. So if you have 43 and above, those people were invited under this draw. Now this draw targeted specific people. So this was not a general draw open for everybody under this express entry, even if you are 43. So there were a lot of NOC knock which were decided, which have been picked, and out of those knock only people got their invitation to apply. So now the next process for them will be within 45 days, they have to submit an OINP application. Once that OINP application is submitted and it gets approved, you have to apply for your permanent residency through an express entry. You have to apply for your permanent residency through, it's an online application, but it will not be an express entry stream. As I said, so you will be applying through different, to other stream. and get your permanent residency approved after that. Now, as I said, it was a specific draw, so you have to make sure, like, not everybody was invited, even if you score 43, but if your NOC knock was not picked, you might have not got your invitation, so you may not be lucky this time, but again, be on the look, keep on looking for the updates. You never know when the next draw happens, and they may invite people with your NOC knock. But as I said, this draw didn't invite everybody. There was certain NOC knock picked. The second draw held by OINP under the same, not the same stream, it's called OINP. The first one we discussed was foreign worker stream. The second draw they held was international graduate stream. So under that, people who have graduated from Ontario from one of the institutions which is mentioned on the list, if you have done your graduation from one of the other institution from there, then the invitation was sent. The CRS score, the people who were invited was 62. So anybody, any international students who have completed a 2-year program from a certain list of college which is available on the website, they all were invited under this draw, but they were international students who have done their education in Ontario. The difference between the first stream where foreign workers were invited, even if you were Canada, maybe you were invited, but you don't need an education for that one. But for this stream, you need the international graduate stream, you need an education for that stream. So if you only have your education, then only you qualify, and that education has to be done in the last 2 years of the completion of the program. You should have got an invitation, submit an application as far as you are qualified under the stream, and definitely you might have got an invitation to apply. So OINP had this draw. I think this is the second draw for the international graduate stream this year. Score was 62. Again, for this draw, you have to create your expression of interest on the OINP website. You have to make sure that is your first initial step. If you don't create an expression of interest on your on their website, then it will definitely not get you'll not get an invite. So to be eligible, as you create an expression profile, you also have to. This is the different from that, as this stream does not work with express entry, so you have to separately create your expression of interest. If you get an invite, you apply for your PNP. Once the PNP gets approved, then you apply for your permanent residency with IRCC. I have a couple of questions from Mr. Shabir. Let me answer those questions, and we will continue with our update. And also, client, if you have any questions, kindly post it into the comment section. There are a lot of viewers who have joined us today. Any question you have regarding any immigration need, kindly post it into the comment section, and I'll be happy to answer that for you. So we have Mr. Amit Jam joining us. Good morning, Mr. Amit. Thanks for joining in again. Then there's a question from Mr. Shabir Pasha here. Hi, Mr. Shabir. Thanks for joining in. So let me take up your question here. Just a question. My CWP has been stamped in the month of February, and I'll be traveling in the month of November. Just wanted to know if this is okay, or I will face any issue with immigration department. And my medical is expiring in the month of August. Should I redo the medical or no? Okay. So Shabir, definitely you need to get your if you are traveling in November and your months of your work permit, I'm a bit confused here is because usually your COPR basically is valid till you till the medical is valid. So if your medical is expiring in August, I don't think it's a good idea flying in November. And I have a doubt here. If you can just clarify more about my question, CWP, what you're exactly mentioning here with CWP. Just elaborate that on that one, and let me think about it again and get back to you soon. Meanwhile, it's closed work. Okay, you got a closed work permit. Okay, so with the closed work permit, you can apply. The problem is now is May. But how come you're planning to start in November? Initially, for example, closed work permit means your employer is obviously you've got a LMI approved, your work permit is approved, and now you want to travel. But how your employer is allowing you to start a job in November when it's already approved right now? So that's 5-6 months down the road. So that is the first question I have. To answer your question, yes, definitely you should get your medical done, and also make sure your medical before you fly, check your GCK portal. Sometimes if that is not updated, you don't have a medical, you make sure you get medical done in advance so that they update it on the IRCC, because we have seen a lot of time that the visa has been invalid because the medical has expired. So make sure you get a medical done on time. update with the IRCC, ask your doctor to do it, or if that is not done, you may face an issue. Even your visa sometimes get invalid and you'll not be able to end. So make sure you definitely get the medical done, and that's been updated with IRCC too. So I hope that answers your question. Okay, if your employer is ready, that's fine. But maybe an officer may ask you. Okay, I got your point, Shabi. So sorry to hear that, but definitely you can. As I said, they may ask you a question, but you have a valid reason why you're traveling late. Should be okay. Should not be a problem. You can go ahead and you can definitely fly in November, but make sure, as I said, you get your new medical done before you fly. Then we have Naseeb Singh asking a question that how many hours student works in SIN, okay, SIN, SIN in Ontario. See, basically right now, there was a new rule which was announced in October where students were allowed to work full time, and that is still valid till December 2023. But that is one time public policy. Usually in Ontario, basically in Canada, you're only allowed to work 20 hours of work hours a week in a sin, or 40 hours bi-weekly. So make sure you're following those rules. But as of now, if your work permit was applied or approved after October, then definitely you are allowed to work full time in Canada as of now. The new, and that policy is valid till December 2023. So we are in May, so there's another 7 months you can work full time, and after that, if there is no public further policy been announced, then you have to go back to working 20 hours a week. But let's see how it goes. December is a bit far away. Maybe you get a new update from IRCC, and they are expecting you to get, and you can expect maybe getting another extension of that public policy, as they have been extending from last 3 years, 18 months post graduation work permit for students who have completed their education and who are on a work permit. Basically, I think 20th of May is the last day to apply through your portal, but we have seen in a lot of the cases that you have to make sure that PGWB people are not able to get their work permit extended through the new public policy, that you have to submit your application separately. Make sure you are doing it, because if you don't do it, then definitely the chances are your extension policy you will not be able to qualify. So you still have to apply. If you're not able to do it through your portal, then make sure you are submitting another application online. And the guidelines are being provided with the IRCC website, where you can have a look and find out more about it. Okay, getting back to the draws we held in Ontario. The two of them we have already discussed. There were another two which were held, and there were two held in OINP, human capital stream. Now, people, what is human capital stream? Now, that is linked to express entry. So, if you were into the pool and you already have an express entry stream, these were the people who were invited. Now, there were two draws held in this stream too. One was on where the people were invited with a score of 427 to 482. So if you have a minimum score of 427 and maximum 482, people were invited through this stream under this CRS score. These people were invited if you have that sort of score. Now this OINP draw, we have seen that again, not everybody with this score was invited from Ontario. But under this draw, I think almost everybody who have a health related experience, either they are doctors, they are physiotherapists, they are pharmacists, occupational pharmacists, they all were invited under this. They all were invited basically under this stream. So you have to make sure that you are aware of who all people are invited. Sometimes people get confused that I have also had I had a score of more than 427, but I was not invited. But as I said, this was a PNP draw, not linked to express entry, and it was through OINP stream of human capital stream, basically we call it. So usually people above 400 are the one who are invited, and so, and for example, like this one, 427 to 482 people, people who are under this score band were the one who were invited, and people who are under the health stream, related work experience, were only invited under this stream. Second, another human capital stream was invited on 5th of May, which was last week itself, just 5-6 days ago. And that stream was targeted people with score of 475 and 482, between 475 and 482. Under this draw, people with IT-related background were invited. Software engineers, web designers and developers, IT technicians, these were the people who were invited under this ONP draw where, as I said, 475, between 475 and 482 people were invited. Again, the stream is linked to express entry. So if you already have a profile in the pool, you had the experience in the NOC knock, which were invited under the stream, then you might have got an invite definitely for you now. And now you have again 45 days to submit the application for OINP. And once that gets approved, you will get an extra 600 point, which will be added into your express entry. And whenever the next PNP draw or all category draw happens, you will get an invitation because your score will be definitely above 600 in the stream. So the last two streams we have discussed are linked to express entry, and you will get a point invitation through express entry. You have to make sure that you accept that invitation, prepare your application, submit it to OINP. That has to be submitted on the OINP portal. Once that get approved, you will automatically get a 600 point added into your express entry, again which you have to accept it. Once you accept it, your score you will see goes higher with more than 600 points, and then whenever is the next draw been held, you will get an invitation to apply under that draw. I hope that makes it clear, and that's how. So we have discussed 4 PNP draws today. All 4 were from Ontario Immigration Nominee Programs. 2 were linked for express entry, 2 were not. The one who were linked was the Human Capital Stream draw, the 2 which were not linked, for Federal Skilled Worker draw, and for the International Graduate Stream draw. So congratulations to all the people who have been invited. I think Ontario is very, very aggressive. If you look since January till now, till May, I think there are already around 10 to 11 draws been held under different streams they have. I think most of the stream they have already, at least one of the draw has been held in most of their stream, so which is very, very good. And definitely it keeps continuing from here, and people get more opportunity of getting and applying for permanent residency through OINP stream. Then I have a question from, that was actually in fact for the ONP draw. There was no other draw from ONP. In fact, there were 4 draws, which was anyhow more than enough in 1 week from one of the provinces. There were no other draws, too much draws held in the last week from other province, but Ontario is very aggressive. And as I said, a lot of people are getting invitation under this draw. Then we have Naseeb Singh, work permit, sir, student admitted in first, at what time his visa valid, September 2, 2025. Okay, Naseeb, so I'm not able to get your question here properly. If you can want to type that question in Hindi or Punjabi, whatever you feel comfortable in, you can do it. But sorry, I'm not exactly able to understand this question, Naseeb. अगर आप question को थोड़ा elaborate, if you do more, if you can do elaborate your question, definitely I may be able to answer your question. All I understand is visa is valid from September 2020 to 2025. So just give more information, and I may be able to answer your question after that. Now, we have talked about express entry profile draw. We have talked about the PNP from Ontario draw, sir. Now, let's take about college admissions right now for onshore student and offshore student. People who have come in May and who wants to start up in September, the program have already started. So the May session have already started. I think 20th of May might be the last day, depending on college you are at. So basically today is 12th of May. So by 20th of May, I think there will be the last day to withdraw if you're looking to plan to study in other university or college. But what happens sometimes is when people land in Canada, they don't like a university college because maybe of their location or maybe because of false promises by the consultant back home about the city and about the place. So people do prefer sometimes changing into colleges in GTA if they're from outside GTA. So if you are somebody like that and looking for admission, obviously May intake is closed. Fall 2023 is open with us. So if you are somebody in Canada looking to start up your education in fall 2023, contact us immediately. We have seats available across the colleges in GTA for onshore students only. And for offshore also, we have seats available in colleges in GTA. So if you are somebody in Canada, 28th May is the last day to apply for offshore admission for September 2023 intake. So if your friends or family is willing to move to Canada and who are willing to start up in September, the last date to apply is, as I said, the last date to apply is 28th of May for offshore application. And after that, definitely will prefer that because there are hardly 3 months left after that. So getting an admission, applying for a visa, coming here gets a bit tricky for the 3 months. So make sure that you are planning well in advance And if you're looking for September, we have seats available. We have PG and post-secondary and PG, both seats are available with us. So if you have somebody who's looking for college admission, we can help you both for onshore and offshore. For offshore, you can contact our India office. For onshore, you should contact our Brampton office based in Canada, so that we can help you for your onshore admissions. If you have completed your 1 year program, looking for another 1 year program, we can help you in that. Or if you, as I said previously, if you have not, say you came to campus which is outside GTA, which is very far, small town, and you're not liking it, or you don't want to study there, then also you have an option of studying in a in a college in September 2020, in September 2023. So that is for the college admission update. And there were no too many draws. There were no draws held other than this, the one we have discussed. This is what happened in the last 1 week. I've already updated you. Last Friday, the session was from the west coast of Canada, where I was in Vancouver. But usually, yes, definitely, I live in Ontario and in east coast of Canada, and we have this show every Friday at 11 a.m. I'll definitely thank all the viewers and clients who join us every Friday for this show. This show is around for 30 minutes, and we definitely give an update of what happened in the last 1 week, and we try to also give you all the information we have. And if you have any question, as I said, you always get a chance to to post your question into the comment section, and I'm happy to basically answer them for you right away, right now. So thanks for joining into this session. Will have another session again now next Friday, 11 a.m. Till then, definitely have a good weekend and a good week ahead. We will see you all next Friday, 11 a.m. We are based in Brampton, Ontario. We are based in India. If you have any question regarding any of your immigration need, contact us. I'm your host, Vishal Manocha. I'm the owner and director at Networth Immigration Solutions. We have offices in India and Canada. You can contact us for any of your immigration need you have. Study permit, work permit, PR, spousal, or any category you talk about. We do represent our client with 98% success rate of the application. So thank you all for joining in. We will see you live next Friday. Till then, goodbye and have a good week.